Okay, this lesson is for section 6.4, properties of logs. My notes are a little messed up here, so that's on the wrong page. Ooh, my camera's being weird. Okay, so our learning targets are, I can use the product, so remember that means multiply, and quotient, that means divide, properties of logs. I can use the power property, so power is going to be when you have an x with a power, with some kind of exponent, and then I can solve equations using properties of logs. I have to put a stapler on my paper there to hold it, and I'm trying to get rid of the glare from this light. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, so here's how the properties go. If you have a log with a base, and you have the log of two things multiplied together, that's the same as log base b of x plus log base b of y. So a way to remember this is multiplication makes things bigger, so I want to convert it and turn it into addition. Same thing with quotient. Log base b of x divided by y is the same as log base b of x minus log base b of y, so that's the quotient. Log base b of x to the n, so this is the power property one. So what happens is that's the same as n log base b of x. So what you can see is this n comes down here and ends up in the front. So you get rid of the exponent, if you want to think it that way, and you bring it out in front. And the reason we have these properties is for solving equations. Okay, so these examples are going to say solve, like this first one does. And so what you want to think is you want to try to look for different things that are going on. So when I see a number out in front here, I can think, that looks like power property. This n here is like my 4 here. So my first step is I want to write this as log base 2 of x to the 4th. And then the rest I'm just going to copy. Okay, and then I want to think I have subtraction. So subtraction is the same as dividing. So I want to rewrite this side where I have log base, both base 2 of x to the 4th minus log base 2 of x to the 5th, and I want to write it as log base 2 of x to the 4th divided by 5. So x to the 4th divided by 5. So then I get log base 2 of 125. So that, now I have that great situation where I have an equal sign, log base 2 on both sides. So if all of this is equal to all of this, and we know log base 2 has to be equal to log base 2, then I can ignore my logs and say x to the 4th over 5 equals 125. And now I'm going to write this as a fraction, and I'm going to do my cross multiplying. So this is going to become x to the 4th equals 125 times 5. I'm going to grab my calculator here. 125 times 5 is 625. So x to the 4th equals 625. To get rid of a 4th power, I'm going to take the 4th root of both sides. X to the 4th and the 4th root undo each other. Those are inverses. So I'm left with x equals plus or minus the 4th root of 625. I believe that that is 5. So this is going to be plus or minus 5. So x is equal to plus or minus 5. doop, doop, doop. There we go. All right, let's see some more of these properties in action for helping us solve. Okay, example 2 has, got to put my little stapler on there to hold my paper down. So let's see what we have going on here. We have a log plus a log. So if we think back to our properties, log plus a log, same base, is the same as multiplying the two things I'm taking the log of. So I want to rewrite this as log base 8 instead of x plus log base 8 of x minus 12. I want to write this as multiply. So it's going to be x times x minus 12 equals 2. Okay, so I'm going to multiply those as my next step. And I'm going to write that as x squared. So I'm doing distributive property here. X squared minus 12x equals 2. Okay, now I don't have logs on both sides this time. So I need to change the form, right? So I want to change to an exponential. So I'm going to use my arrows and I'm going to say 8 to the second power. First arrow is everything to the left of the equal sign. And then I'm going to say equals x squared. Well, let's square root both sides right now. I know I need to get rid of that to the second power, and the way I get rid of to the second power is I square root both sides. Second power and second root undo each other, so I'm left with x equals, and over here the square root, and the second power, once again those undo each other, and I'm left with plus or minus 8. So that one worked out pretty nicely. So you can kind of see the trend is we're taking anything added, subtracted, or the power rule, and we're rewriting them so we have a single log, and then we can turn it into an exponential, or perhaps in some cases a log on both sides of the equal sign. So this is a your turn. Actually, the next two are your turns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video now, and I'm going to put the solution to the your turns in the next video. So go ahead, try these, and then watch the next video to see how you did.